Oh, right. So my name is Géraldine Gauthier. I'm a master certified coach, and I'm the founder of GoMasterCoach. GoMasterCoach is an ICF coaching school. We are based in Singapore, but we deliver coaching training everywhere in the world, in Americas, in Europe, in Asia as well, in Australia, Africa, everywhere in the world. And we can see many students from Go Master Coach here today and alumni. So that's very good to see you. So, coaching the mask. Let's get started. So, what do you see? I'm a coach. I will always start with a question. What do you see? You see a mask, right? Yes. This is an illusion. So we see a mask, but we don't see the hollow part. We don't see the inward part. We only see the outward part, right? That's surprising. We only see what we expect to see. And the brain refuses to see the outward part. We doesn't only see reality. The brain sees what it expects to see. We don't see reality. We see what we expect to see, and we don't show up as we are. We show up as who we think we need to be. We wear masks. We show up as who we think we need to be. We wear masks. We wear masks of the good coach, the confident leader, the good mother, the respected father. Whatever the mask you wear, we all wear masks. And over time, the mask becomes so familiar that even we forget it is a mask. And this is where coaching begins. And this is what we will cover today. And as a coach, this is something we need to be very aware. Why? Because clients don't bring us the whole truth. They show up in coaching session wearing masks. They bring us what is safe today. And this is why I've developed this framework, because I've realized that all my clients were showing up wearing masks. And I've developed this framework to help me as a coach be more, help my client faster, deeper. But the idea is not to rip the mask away. The idea is really to understand what is my client, what mask my client is wearing, and to listen to for the masks and to create enough safety for the person underneath to appear. So you do not hunt the mask, you listen for it. And as I mentioned earlier, you are your first client. And this is one of the key principles of Go Master Coach philosophy. If you want to be a great coach, you have to start with yourself. You don't learn coaching. You learn coaching skills, yes, but most importantly, you apply them to yourself as your first client. And why? Because you cannot take a client deeper than you've been willing to go yourself. And this is very important to understand as coach, even as leader, or it's very important to understand because the mask you haven't examined yourself becomes a limit for your client's coaching. So, for instance, if you have not examined, explore your desire to please, like me, you may be a people pleaser. If you have not explored this, then you won't be able to challenge your client. If you have not explored, examined your desire, your will, your need to be right, then you will be attached to your thoughts and your agenda. If you haven't explored your in comfort with strong emotions, you won't be able to welcome your client's strong emotions. So that's why it's so important, and it's really at the heart of Go Master Coach philosophy to be your first client. And this is what we will do today. You will be the client. I will walk you through the 5 masks, and you will apply this framework to yourself. All right. So the question today is not, do I have a mask? The question is, we all have masks, let's be clear. The question is, which mask am I wearing now? So today it's not a lecture, it's a live coaching experience. Again, this is really important in our philosophy. It's not about theory, it's not only about concept, it's more about applying the concept to yourself and living them, experiencing them. So let me introduce the 5 mask framework. It's not a checklist, it's not a stage model, it's a lens. All right, the first one is a persona. And I will walk you through each mask in detail. I will go through each mask in detail later on. The persona is who the world sees. The performer is who you think you must be. The third is the protector who shows up under pressure. Who are you under pressure? Fourth, the story. It's the belief running underneath. And fifth, it's not really a mask. One might challenge me. It's the core. It's who you are when the mask softens. So this is a 5 mask framework. Again, it's not a checklist. And I love framework not to just go through my session with a checklist. I love framework because it helps me structure my thoughts and see where my client is and listen for his mask and its mask and really help them faster, deeper. So the key question is, which mask is my client speaking from right now? Let's start with the persona, the mask number 1. So the persona is who the world sees, who the world sees. And for each mask, I will explain the concept, how it sounds, and the coaching intervention. So the persona is very polished, is sanitized. It's mainly around facts. It's the presenting narrative. And the persona is very useful. We need personas. It's a way to function socially. And just, you might already know, but persona, it comes from the Latin word, it comes from the mask actors were wearing in antiquity. So it's a mask that they were wearing in antiquity. So what is my persona? For instance, for me, it's like, okay, I'm a master certified coach. I'm the founder of GoMasterCoach. I'm also a mom of 3. I'm based in Singapore. This is what I'm doing now. And what I'm working on, my biggest challenge is to work on my vision for 2027. So that would be my persona, what the world sees. So what would you hear when you listen to your client? So pay attention to, oh, this is the situation, this is me, the problem is what I need help. So it's very surface level. This is how your client shows up in the session. It's very polished. It's kind of a PowerPoint version of your life, right? Some bullet points. This is me. This is where I am. This is what I want. How would you coach when your clients show up at the persona level? Well, you need to contrive, of course, because again, persona is useful. It's a way to belong. It's a way to start conversations, and it's very safe, and that's okay. So clean construct, of course, you don't want to stay at persona and problem level too long. And this is the issue I see with most of new coaches. They stay at persona sometimes during the entire session. They will really stay at the personal level, at the surface level, at the problem level. They will coach me, for instance, I'm the founder. I want to work on my vision for 2027. So we will stay there for the full session. This is not what we want to do. So how to go deeper? You can ask those questions. Well, what feels most important today? What is the situation as you see it? So those can be good questions. And the problem again is not that we have a persona, it's useful. The problem is when the persona becomes the only version of ourselves we know how to access. Now, let's time to coach yourself. Let's pause, and I want you to take a paper, take a pen, and take 30 seconds to reflect. If I ask you now, what is a safe version you give when someone asks how things are going on? So write down the answer. Just do not filter, do not just write down whatever comes to your mind when I ask how things are going on at the moment. Just write down how do you show up to the world? What would you say if you meet someone? Just introduce yourself and they ask how things are going. Just write down whatever comes to your mind. And I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do that.
Papa.
Oh, yeah, write it down. And Teresa, I just muted you. It's okay. It's good to see you. So write down whatever comes to your mind. What is a safe version of you give when you meet someone, when you just show up? And when someone asks how things are going? And if you wish, you can enter this in the chat. It's always good to see. If you wish, you can enter this in the chat as well. And please elaborate a bit. Okay, it's busy, but it's fine. Okay, how things are going? What's happening? What's up? This kind of, what is it? And how do you introduce yourself as well? What is your persona? What would you say when you meet someone for the first time or when you show up? So that's your persona. Okay. All right, let's move to the next mask. But before, let's remind you that every presenting issue is a costume. Every presenting issue is a costume. So if my coach asks me, okay, what's happening? What's up? How's thing? I would say, oh, it's okay. It's a bit challenging. I want to work on my vision. I'm not clear yet. I'm not clear yet on my vision for 2027. That's not the real challenge. That's just a costume. Every presenting issue is a costume. So keep that in mind, because I see a lot of new coaches, they stay at the costume level, they stay at the personal level, they stay at the surface level. The real work begins when you learn to ask about the person wearing it. Okay, so that's really, really important. At personal level, we come with a mask and with a costume. And be careful because we can spend the whole session coaching the situation and never meet the person inside the situation. Now, let's move to mask number 2. So mask number 2, it's the performer, the performer. So the performer is who you think you must be, who you think you must be. So the persona is who the world sees. The performer is who you think you must be. So it's the pressure you put on yourself, the standards you have for yourself, your expectations. Sometimes those expectations have been created by external expectations, of course. And with new titles, there always comes a new mask. So pressure. Let me share my story. So I'm a master certified coach. So as a master certified coach, it's what the world sees, my persona. The pressure I put on myself is, oh, I need to be an amazing coach. I need to be excellent whenever I coach. I need to know so many things. When it comes to coaching, I need to be an expert. I need to show up really, really present all the time. So that's the pressure I put on myself for as an example. Huh? So that's my performer. My mask as a performer is the pressure I put on myself. What do you hear when you listen to your client at the performer mask layer? It's like, oh, I should be an expert in coaching. I must perform very well when I coach. I can't afford to be seen as weak, for instance. This kind of sentences you will hear them when your client is at the wearing this performer mask. How do you coach? So you want to double click on the should, the must, the have to, right? Because usually this is an internal contract your clients has made with themselves. So for me, I became a master certified coach in 2024. And then when I received this badge, I was, of course, very happy, excited. But then I thought, okay, now I really need to be the best at coaching. I was like pressurizing myself. I need to be at NCC level. That was the internal contract I made with myself. And that's very painful. So that's the contract I made. So whenever you have a new title, if you change job, if you do, you create this new, you have an additional pressure that you put on yourself. So the key question when you hear your client wearing this mask of performer is who do you feel you have to be? What standard are you holding yourself to? So those are the questions you want to ask. And of course, I want to hear you. Now, if you were to look at your mask, performer mask, what would it say? Who do you feel you should be? So for me, I share the master certified coach, but also the founder. I need to have clear ideas, clear vision of where I want to go. I should be decisive. So this is the pressure I put on myself, right? Because I need to perform as a founder. So again, the persona is who the world sees. The performer is the pressure you put on yourself. So let's take 30 seconds to reflect. Again, take your pen, paper, and just write as many things as possible. Who do you feel you should be? Thank you, Yasser, for sharing. So you can keep it for yourself. If you wish to share it with uh, others, you can put it in the chat as well. It's always inspiring to see the pressure other people put on themselves. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Natalie. So share, what is your performer mask saying? I must always coach deeply, Lorraine. Okay. The good mother who always shows up for her kids and the successful professional, Fiorenza. Thanks for sharing. So we put a lot of pressures on ourselves, right? And thank you all for sharing. Thank you. So the point here is very often when we are at the performer stage, we realize, you know what, high performers, they don't lack awareness. what they like, and I do coach a lot of high performers, what they like is a place where they don't have to hold it all together. So this is what coaching can offer as well. Huh? And when you hear this mask, huh, what people really mask, the performer mask, huh, the I should be, I have to, I need to, this sense of obligations, it's important to offer some space for the person to be the space, huh? And not be careful not to collude with the performer. And I know I've did these mistakes, this mistake many, many times where I colluded with the performer, and instead of coaching the person, I was coaching the performer. Okay, so what do you want to do next? What are the next steps? Where do you want to, where do you want to go? So, you really collude with the performer and you totally miss the real challenge of your client. Okay, so are we clear? Let's move to the protector. So the protector is who shows up under pressure. Okay? Who shows up under pressure? It's like, who are you when you are under pressure? So that's the question. So it's really your default mode when you are very stressed, when your nervous system is activated, right? It's you when you feel threatened, when you are under stressed. How do you behave? What is this mask you're wearing when you are under stress? Lots of pressure. You have a deadline tomorrow, or someone, your kids just triggered you. Who are you? So, this is what we call the protector. For me, it would be okay, whenever I'm under stress, I will do. I will be in action mode. I will really execute. I will do a lot, I will just be in this kind of mode where I will execute, I will do. I'm a doer. This is how my default mode when I feel under stress, when I'm under stress. Okay. So what you would hear from your clients, many different ways. There's different protectors. Huh? Some people like me will be focused on action and will execute, do, achieve. Some other people will become paralyzed. They will think through it, but think, and be totally paralyzed. Some people will start fighting. Some people will just be in a rescuing mode or people pleasing mode. So we all have different ways to protect ourselves, right? So how do you coach? When you hear the protector, first and foremost, and this is very, very important, and I really insist on that because I did the mistakes many times, you have to honor the protector. The protector is amazing. The protector helped you in many ways. And my protector helped me so many times. And that's, a mechanism I've developed that helped me. It helped, and it still helps me. Yet, when I overuse my protectors, it costs me a lot. So first and foremost, you start by honoring it, honor the protector. So explore with your client, how did it help? What is it? When do you use this mask? So honor, explore, and then you can start when you feel that the protector is not helping anymore. You can explore, what is it costing you now? When you are in this mode, what are you avoiding? What are you doing? What is what is it costing you? Okay, so now let's focus on you. Let's explore your mask, your protector mask. So I'm curious, when pressure rises, what do you do automatically? Okay, what do you do automatically? What is your default mode? And once you have this answer, you can go to the next question if you wish. What is that strategy protecting you from? Okay, thank you, Firenza. So for you, it would be more working, being in intellectual mode and really thinking mode to shut the world off. Okay, interesting. Withdraw. Some people withdraw. Okay. Isolation, hyper mood, hyper vigilant. Okay. Put a plan, act quickly. Okay, I can relate. Fix it. That's very interesting. We are very, very different. And that's what is beautiful as well, huh? We are all so different. So never assume we all have the same. And by default, we tend to assume people react the same as we react. So it's important to see. Procrastinate, Stephanie, thank you for sharing that. Of course, it depends. Huh? Of course, huh? This is very nuanced. Huh? And this is a model. Okay. And so someone mentioned the fight, flight, freeze mode. So indeed, when we all are different, and depending on the context, the situation, and who we are, and we've been raised, some people will go towards, some against, some away. So it really depends, the kind of protector we have developed. So the very important point here, thank you all for sharing, is that the mask, the protector mask, is rarely the problem. It's usually a very, very intelligent solution that has worked for years. So you can be grateful for your protector, and just think about, okay, how did it help me? And how useful and how did I develop this very intelligent solution? So really think about this solution as being a very intelligent solutions that worked for years. But it's also important to reflect and see, when is this solution not helping me? Do I really need it? Do I still need it? And what do I want to do with this solution? And indeed, Mark, thank you. It's very close to the saboteur, outlined by Shiraz Shamil. All the different concepts about limiting beliefs, the saboteurs, and definitely are very linked, indeed. Okay, so the mask is not a problem. It's a very intelligent solution. What is important is to be aware of it and to understand whether we are using it in a right way or we are overusing it. Okay, so let's move to the mask number 4, the story. Okay, so the story. So this is a belief running underneath, right? The story is a narrative that silently shapes everything. Okay, so what is it? It's a belief, it's a strong belief, it's a story, it's a narrative, and it's the meaning-making layer. And we are meaning-making uh, creature, right? We need to make sense of our life, meaning-making layer. So what is it? What do you hear when you're with your client? It's, oh, that's just who I am. I've always been this way. Or very strong belief for me would be, oh, if I slow down, everything will fall apart. If I don't do, it won't work. If I don't achieve, I won't be loved. So those are this kind of story we tell ourselves. Sometimes it's not very conscious. So this is where, as a coach, and we are here to help our clients be more aware of the narrative, the story, the belief that's running everything, that shapes everything. Okay, so this is a belief. This is what you would hear. And how to coach? How to coach? So when you hear these strong beliefs, these strong statements, these strong assertions, you can just repeat the belief. Oh, so this is who you are. Oh, if you slow down, everything you fall apart. So you are here to help your client be aware of what they're saying without any judgment. We are not here to judge. We are here to help people be more aware, to use silence, And often you will see when these strong beliefs emerge, you don't want to do too much as a coach. You want to be present. You can just repeat or ask very short questions and use silence. Because often when your client realize the story, the belief that has been here for years and years, it might be a good big breakthrough and a deep story emerging. So you don't want to ask too many questions. You just want to hold the space and be with your client and let the silence do the heavy lifting. So let the silence do the heavy lifting here when the story emerge, and when the mask is sharing, it's important to really hold the space. Okay, and this is really what makes a difference, I think, between ACC, PCC, MCC. You can see when a coach is more mature, I would say, is really when they start really coaching the story and asking about the beliefs and what story about yourself might be running here, or what does this story make possible? What does it make impossible? And what is discussed of this story? So for me, as I mentioned, so my protector is really the doer, achiever, hyperachiever. And the cost, it's kind of obvious, but and I'm almost been there, is you can burn out and you can miss, you think you're busy, you achieve, but you're missing the real interesting things and you just burn out, right? You're overwhelmed and then you just, yeah, you don't, and yeah, you realize that this story that I've been running for years and years is not helping you anymore. Okay, so it's important to explore the cost of this story. Over to you. Take a pen, take a paper. First, what is a story? Maybe just write it down. What is a silent belief you carry about your worth? Okay, interesting. Thank you, Mike. So, what is a silent belief? And you might have more than one, of course. So for me, it's really I need to achieve to prove my worth. I need to achieve, I need to do, I need to be active, to do more and more to prove that I'm worth of love. Thank you, June, for sharing your story, the story that I've been running. Okay, interesting. Fiorenza, I'm not worth it unless I get everyone's needs go first. Okay, thank you all for being vulnerable and open to share your stories. I need to be a good representative of what I'm representing. If I'm needed, I will be loved. Oh, yeah, I can share this one. If and thank you. And that's also, I need to be useful, to be loved, to be accepted. Yeah. Thank you all. So just where we are now. So we talked about the persona as who the world sees. Then we shifted to the performer, the pressure we put on ourselves. We went through the protector. So the protector is when we are under stress, the way how we show up. And then now we are at the story layer, the mask of the story is the story the narrative, what we share, what we think about ourselves, and the belief that run everything. Thank you all for sharing your beautiful stories. Now let's look at the core, and is who we are. It's not really a mask, it's who we are when the mask softens. And as a coach, this is really how we want to help our clients, right? It's not to rip the mask away again. It's not to just get rid of the mask. It's more to help our clients soften the mask. So what is the core? So the core is aligned integration. Usually the core is a quieter voice. It's not the loud voice of the performer or the protector. It's very quiet. It doesn't need to shout, prove, or perform. So that's also important for you as coaches. Most of you are coaches, I believe, or even leaders, is to pay attention to this quiet voice of your client. Don't be seduced by the performer, by the protector, by the story. Huh? Don't be seduced by that. Just listen as well for the quiet voice. What you would hear? So, oh, I feel most myself when. What matters is I want. The I want is very typical of the core. I want to create. I am. I want. So you can see that is very close to values themes. Huh? So for me, it would be I want more space to be creative. I want to have deeper connections. Um, I really want to, yeah, to be able to slow down, to connect deeper. So this is what my core would say now. So what would you hear and how do you coach? So when you hear your client's core speaking, you want to, as I mentioned, it's very quiet. It's not as loud as the performer, the protector. So you have to pay particular attention to the quiet voice of the core. It's subtle. Sometimes it's not through words, it's more through presence. So you want to focus on the values. What are the values attached to that? Here it's more about the being, less about the doing. So it can be subtle, very nuanced, and very quiet. So you want to, and even for your clients, they might not realize that they are speaking from the core. So this is where you want to help them really anchor this core self and real integrate it with their values. What is this? What is the value speaking now? What do you need more of? How can you give more space to this? So really make sure you really, really anchor this new, this core self-talking. So make sure there's a commitment as well. How can you shift? How can you be more into the being? What is a small step you can do to honor this value? Now, you know what's next, right? You can self-coach, you don't need me anymore. So let's focus on your core. The mask number 5, that is not a mask. So the question is, who are you when you are not performing? So who are you when you are not performing? And that's not an easy question. So that's the first question. So for me, again, I would more creative person, more depth, more presence. This is what I want. I am a coach. I want to create impact. I'm a creative coach. So that's, I believe, what my core would say. My core would say, okay, I want to get inspired. I want to inspire as well. So who are you when you are not performing? And what does that version of you need more? What does that version of you need more of right now? Okay, thank you, Fiorenza. You are a free person who decides for herself. Okay, Amisha is energized, alive, presence, grounded for Ditebogo. Oh, Zashian. So you're going back to the performer, the core and performer. Yeah. Spontaneity. Okay, thank you for sharing. And so that's the first part. So who are you when you are not performing? It's very important again and to anchor it. What does that version of you need more of right now? So what do you need more of? And it's really related to your values, right? So for me, creativity, freedom are very, very important values. Courage as well. I want to be the courageous coach, a creative coach. So it's really, we are going to the core values here. Huh? Who are you when you are not performing and what do you need more? But again, when you coach your clients, don't stay at this very conceptual level. Make sure it's really integrated into simple steps so that it can translate into actions and behaviors. Okay. Um, so we've covered the five masks. Again, persona, who the world sees, performer, uh, the pressure you put on yourself, protector, who you are when you are under pressure, um, the story, so the belief that runs everything, and then the core, who you are when you are when the mask softens. Now let's do a quiz. The principle of neuroscience. If I want you to really remember this concept and so that it's useful for you and your clients, you have to make sure you really understand it. So let's do a quiz and let's make it fun. It's competitive, so you can play the game and use the chat to answer the questions. Okay, are you guys ready? So, uh, let's get ready. Let's put one, two, or three. I should be able to coach anyone. Which mask are we talking about? Oh wow, some people are very fast. I knew there were some competitive people here. Okay, Amisha, well done. Yes, this is Amisha 1 point. All right, I should be able to coach anyone, so that's a performer. I'm an executive coach building a successful practice in 3 countries. So is it the story, the core? Okay. Amisha, wow, so fast. I think we got a winner. Indeed, it's number 3. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, my bad. I think it's Yasser, actually. I didn't read it well. So the persona, of course. Yasser, well done. Okay, and this one, if I don't achieve many projects, I'm not useful. Okay, I'm a bit lost with, I guess, is it Cinta? Cinta, you're the first, right? Yes, that's the story. Well done. Okay. And last but not least, one, and we have, let me just be clear, Nina. Okay, so we have 4 winners, I guess, today. Well done. Well done. It was a core. All right, so now I think your concept, the 5 masks are clear. So what I want to do now, it's very important to understand the concept, to apply to yourself, but I want to go deeper. I want to, to really reach the unconscious mind with a visualization. So I want you to really, we're going to do a visualization activity. I will go through the 5 masks together. So I will just walk you through this visualization because I really want to use you to use all your senses to go through this mask. Huh? I want you to feel each mask, to feel it, how you feel when you wear the persona. How is it? What do you see? What's happening in your body? What is a narrative in your mind? So I'm gonna walk you through this visualization, but first I want you to think about a situation where you feel stretched right now. So think about a real situation where you feel stretched right now. Can be personal, professional, anything. Okay? And when you are ready, I want you to take a deep breath. And if you want, you can close your eyes and I will walk you through this visualization. So think about this situation where you feel stretched right now. And we're going to start with the persona. So what are you saying about this situation? So what are you saying? If I were to ask you, what is this situation? So what would you say now? So try to think about what you would say. And as you think about it, try to picture, to visualize this situation very clearly. So visualize the situation, visualize yourself in this situation. Okay, try to see the problem, what you would say to others about the problem. Try to see, also visualize yourself and visualize other people that are involved in this situation. What is a polished version of this situation? And now we're going to move to the performer. I want you are in this situation now. Think about who do you feel you must be here? Who do you feel you must be in this situation? What standards are you holding in this situation? And try to feel in your body as well, when this performer is here. Who do you feel? Try to feel it as well. Where do you feel this pressure, most likely? In your body. Maybe it's in the chest, maybe in your belly, maybe in your shoulders. That's a lot you have to hold. So who do you feel you must be in this situation? Okay. And now I want you to shift to the protector. So when this gets hard, and it was certainly hard, what do you automatically do? So when this gets hard, maybe it was hard last week, this weekend, maybe. So what is your default response? How do you behave under pressure? And again, try to see how you behave. Try to see people reacting around you to this behavior. And try to see and to feel how it is in your body as well when you are under pressure in this default mode. Try to feel the pace. Or maybe it's frozen. Maybe it's very fast. Maybe it's frozen. What is your protector doing in this situation when it gets hard? All right. Now let's explore the story. So really try to immerse yourself in this situation. And what does this situation seem to say about you? This situation where you feel stretched right now. What does it say about you? And what is it costing you? What is this narrative costing you? Okay, and we are going to move to the core. And now let's think about this situation and think about if you were fully aligned with who you are, who would you be in this situation? If you were fully aligned, fully grounded, how would you behave? Who would you be in this situation? So if you were fully aligned in this situation, how would you show up? What would matter to you? What values would be very present in this situation? And as you reflect, I want you to think about a tip, an advice you would give yourself. So, what advice to close this visualization? I want you to give yourself an advice. So, what advice would you give yourself? And you can take a deep breath and come back slowly and just write down the advice you gave yourself. So, what is the advice you gave yourself? And feel free to share in the chat as well if you have any realization or any advice or anything that stand out for you. Be gentle, just hold on. Don't give up, slow down. All right, be vulnerable. Let go. Beautiful. So feel free to share. It's always useful to see what others experienced. And this is a question, what are you seeing more clearly right now? Okay, so we're reaching the end of this webinar. Thank you all for playing the game. Just briefly, 5 traps to avoid. I think it's important to give you some reminders. So fixing too fast. Anyway, we are not here to fix as coaches, but we don't want to coach too fast as well, and we don't want to coach the situation too fast. Don't jump to solution. We don't want to go therapeutic. It's important to remind this as well, especially as when we hear persona, we think about young and the persona. So this is not it's not therapeutic. If your client wants to explore traumas or deep emotional one, you should definitely advise to see a psychologist. Do not be careful, and this one is tricky, and I've collude with the masks many times. So don't coach the performance. Don't collude with the mass the performance. And all performers will come and say, "Hey, I want to perform more," right? And I've done that so many times where I just, okay, let's do it. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on this new goal and this new achievement you want, and then you collude with the mass. So just slow down and help your client help them soften their masks. Skipping masks. So this is not a sequential approach. Yet, if your client is at the personal level, you cannot go straight to the core. It's not safe enough, yet they need to be at the personal level first, right? So don't go too fast, too deep. Just meet your clients where they are and don't make it about you, but that's kind of obvious for any leaders and coach here. It's not about you, it's not about your performance, it's really about them, the space they need today. This is just a useful cheat sheet. This is a matrix for you to remember the 5 masks, how they show up, what they are protecting, and the coaching move. Again, don't be scripted. There's not one move for each mask. It's really be with the client and just meet your client where they are and just be very present for them. The key things the mantra I want you to remember is notice what is shown, respect what is protected, and explore what is underneath. So notice what is shown, respect what is protected, and explore what is underneath. So that's really some 3 mantras. And always return to the person, not just the goal. It's not about the behavior. It's not about only the behavior or the story. It's really about the person. And I'd love to summarize this. We wear masks to belong. And it's important. Again, the mask is not the enemy. It's important. We need masks. We loosen them to become. So it's really about shifting from doing to being. And this is, for me, what coaching is about. It's offering this space for people to be more, to become. And since I love analogies, I wanted to share this final one. And I love this. For me, coaching is really like sculpting. We are not here to add more. We are just here to help our client reveal who they are underneath. And I think it's really a beautiful analogy of coaching, because there's so much misconceptions around coaching, what coaching is, what it is not, and people are not clear about it. So for me, it's really about helping people become and not trying to help them be more. Thank you so much for being here today, being very engaged, sharing your stories in the chat. I really appreciate. I think it makes it very enjoyable for me. So thank you. I think if you use this QR code, you might get more resources from GoMasterCoach. If you're interested in coaching, if you're not yet a coach, we have ACC training starting in September. So would love to have some of you. Some of you are already coach. We are also offering PCC trainings later this year. So again, we're happy to see more of you as well. And we will go deeper into coaching the mask. This is our signature concept. And I was very happy to share that with you today. Thank you. Oh, I can see some of you now. I was not able to see.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. I will share a poll for you to tell us.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Let's stay connected on LinkedIn or anywhere. And if you have questions around the mask frameworks, you just send us an email. We'll be happy to answer it. Okay, let me just share the poll. Okay. Oh, it's shared already. Can you see the poll? No, okay. So that's not the right one. Let me just. Okay, poll. And oh, okay. 1 sec. Okay. Well, okay. If you're still here, you may be able to answer the poll. It's just your level of satisfaction. It's important for us. Thank you all. Thank you very much for your participation. Okay. All right. And if you have any question, anything, and also feel free to subscribe to our newsletter. And we share lots of tips, techniques, frameworks to help coaches, leaders, managers, to ask better questions, to be more present, and to really help and go deeper. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to close the webinar now.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Géraldine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Géraldine. Bye.
Thank you.